Hi there, this is the astrology forecast for the week of January 13th through the 19th for 2019. So starting out on the 13th, we have a moon square Jupiter, and usually the square is an aspect of tension, but when it involves Jupiter, the great benefic, there's actually a possibility for really positive manifestations. And since Jupiter has the upper hand in this square, given the order of signs going on, there's the possibility for emotional growth and increased involvement emotionally that leads to good things. Emotional investment in a sense that brings us a lot of joy and a lot of expansive experiences that can benefit us. There is the risk of going over the top or being dramatic or over-exaggerating to an extent that goes too far, and overindulging as well, always a risk with Jupiter. But overall, Monday the 13th, it looks like a really positive day to testing yourself emotionally and seeing what that brings up for you. Monday the 14th, we have a moon conjunct Uranus and Mercury sextile Neptune. And the moon and Uranus together brings together our emotional day-to-day world and this aspect of change and unexpected surprise and revelation, which means that the way that we're feeling could be potentially volatile, or it could be an emotional breakthrough of some sort. And the Mercury square Neptune side of the sky really allows us to channel our feelings into the way that we express ourselves verbally. It's a really artistic transit, so these two together mean that we may have a lot of unexpected feelings, triggers coming up for us, but that we can channel that really well, and there's the opportunity for a lot of creative outlets to come to fruition and be used that day. Tuesday the 15th, the moon in Taurus will trine all the Capricorn planets. Mercury, Saturn, Pluto, and the sun. It's like a 2-year Capricorn season, with this being one of the heights of it all. But with the moon in Taurus trining all the Capricorn planets, instead of feeling weighed down and heavy by all the responsibilities being asked of us in the ways that we need to grow up, there is more of the chance of feeling really grounded and secure and solidified in these plans we have coming up to better ourselves and to grow up and get realistic in the ways that Capricorn is asking us to. Tuesday the 15th is also a good day to start to really get to work on any of these plans, whether that's a New Year's resolution or just something that needs to happen for you to grow and progress. Tuesday the 15th is a really grounded, realistic, pragmatic, even-headed day. Wednesday the 16th, Venus will square Mars, and this is kind of the traditional cat and mouse dynamic, especially when I see this in relationship charts. It typically can be kind of the chase dynamic, and this can play out in our own lives, whether it's with someone else or internally. So this sense of friction could be really good. It could be entertaining and teach us about ourselves and give us a little fired up to investigate something or someone, but it can also just be unnecessary, time-wasting, unproductive runarounds with things nagging us in our lives that don't bring us any growth in that dynamic. And that kind of depends on the level of honesty and authenticity we have with ourselves about what's truly for our highest good. So assess what you value in your life versus how you're getting things done, and there's an opportunity to reconcile and become a more efficient, aligned person at getting where you want to go. The 17th, the moon in Gemini will oppose Venus and Jupiter in Sagittarius, and there's a lot with this transit, but Jupiter and Venus, these are the two traditional benefics in astrology, and Jupiter is in its home sign of Sagittarius, so it's bringing a lot of energy and a lot of abundant expansion, and it's at home. It does really well there, and Venus, she doesn't particularly like being in Sagittarius, but it's not a bad placement. She functions well and is happy to be there. She likes being there more than she does in Scorpio after everything that happened there this year. The tendency here can be that there's so much good, it's at odds with what's actually making us feel good and secure, and there's the risk of overindulging all the way, wanting to feel good so badly that we turn our emotional state off and we just go for completely tuning out and numbing out and going for everything that we think will make us feel better in that moment. It's a good day for doing Jupiterian things like going to an art museum or something, where that want to emotionally escape can really run wild, but be cautious with your wallet and with any impulsive actions that you want to do that just sound so fun in the moment, but are they really for your best good, or are you just bored and really tempted by what's bright and colorful and shiny. Friday the 18th definitely takes a more sensitive, more solemn tone because the moon will square Chiron and sextile Uranus. Chiron aspects typically can bring forth a feeling of vulnerability and old wounds being reopened, like we've been here before and this is just this nagging feeling of insecurity or vulnerability that is sitting with me. With this moon sextile Uranus, there's really the opportunity for reconciling that with a new perspective and getting a burst of insight and of unexpected progress in how you're seeing a situation that can really help heal and help release what you're holding on to that's not getting channeled effectively. Something tension-wise or something painful in you that needs to come out and you haven't really understood the whole mechanism at hand. Uranus can bring forth more detachment, which can then let you actually detach from what's emotionally holding you down. Finally, Saturday the 19th is a really interesting day because there is a grand water trine. No, there's not. What do I... Scratch that. There is a moon trine to Neptune. What's going on with the moon has a lot of opposites. So the moon in Cancer is trining Neptune in Pisces, which again, Neptune transits lift the veil, open the portal up to creative insights, for imaginative downloads, for connection to something greater. And the moon trining Neptune in water signs, our ability to express and feel can be really great. Super great day for any kind of expression, any kind of art practice we have. The door is really open and we're able to fluidly show our emotions. However, the moon is also opposite Saturn, and the opposition is the aspect related to the planet of Saturn because Saturn imposes limitation and restricts and cools down, solidifies, hardens. So we have this insight and these abilities to open up more emotionally, but this is paired with a real fear for closing off because of thinking of judgment or being paranoid and not willing to take a risk because Saturn does not like risk. And anytime we are opening ourselves emotionally, that's a vulnerable risk. And Saturn is combating this openness we feel by bringing some fear and some hesitation into expression. So you'll probably have this feeling of wanting the floodgates to open, but also have a voice internally telling you not to do that, that it's terrified. But the way that you can reconcile this is to find a way that you feel safe in doing that, because bottling it up may lead to regrets, because Saturn transits often bring this paralyzing fear that then leads to regretting not taking action. So I would recommend finding a safe channel or a private way to express this emotion even if no one sees it, because this fear will pass. It's the moon, it's not a lingering aspect, and things will move forward. I see a lot of creative potential for this week and getting in touch with new expansive emotions and making insights that you were previously unaware of. So I hope this was helpful. I do private consultations at the link below. Like, subscribe, and I will see you soon.